Welcome to Rhythm of Love, the podcast. I'm Clarence.
And I'm Yalonda. We celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary by writing a book together about what it took to get us here.
And in this podcast, we go deeper and break down what we learned along the way. We hope you enjoy and engage.
Comment, share, and subscribe. We'd love to hear what you have to say about what it takes to make relationships last.
Yes, we will.
Welcome to this week's episode of Rhythm of Love, the podcast. I'm Clarence.
And I'm Yalonda. Get comfortable while we give you the real about what it has taken to bring this now 28-year marriage to the place we are today.
Yeah.
How we keep it rocking and rolling.
And mostly we just do it by talking. So today we're going to just talk about stuff that we talk about. That's the easiest. We talk all the time, so so we're bringing you the conversations that we have.
And we're launching a
brand new segment
called
Something the Internet Has Ruined. And
today what we're talking about that the internet has ruined is the give and take of relationships.
Understanding the give and take of relationships.
Yes.
So, one of the hot topics on the internet right now is 50-50. The concept of I put 50% in and you put 50% in. And this is not talking specifically marriage, but just in dating or serious dating, and maybe even in marriage, right, once you get to that point.
Certainly marriage, I think.
What is the woman's specific financial contribution to the relationship? And should it be we just split everything down the middle, or should the man be traditionally responsible for everything?
All the bills, and she can just play with her money, or her money is just for her right to decide what she wants to do with it.
Is our money, and her money is her money. That is the question. So
yes,
what do you think about 50-50 in a relationship?
So I think that the conversations that we see online about 50-50 in relationships are so cordoned off to just talking about the money. Like, if we just had the money thing straight, our relationship will be smooth sailing. Nobody's, you really have to listen to people who are married to hear how much of the relationship is much more than who's earning the money and who's cooking the food, or who's bringing home the bacon and who's frying it up in a pan. Sure. The relationship, you're talking about intertwining two lives. Like, everything that is important to you has now is going to affect or be affected by the other person in your life. If I'm having a downtime, where, things are just going awry, sure, in either my career or what with my relationship with my children, that falls on you in some kind of way. And are we taking the time to keep a ledger to say, last week when you were having that downtime and you couldn't help Moni shower, you owe me 2 showers for this week because I did more than 50% of the showers of Moni. Or, I cooked more than 50% of the meals, or I did more than 50% of the shopping. And now, so there's so much, our whole lives are just so completely intertwined that if we're taking the time to measure and count and say it's not fair, because, I'm swinging at 80% right now and you're only swinging at 30%, then how, then we're going to have to.
Then you got 110%.
We do.
then we have 110%.
To me, each person's percentages of it. When I said that, I was like 80% of mine, 100%.
We're doing great.
And you're at 30%.
We're doing great. We're at 110%. We are doing great.
Okay, if the math is supposed to add up to 100%, then 80 and 20. Okay. But, I think there's just so much more to it that we're not considering.
So,
or that the internet would lead you to not consider.
So let's have some evenness to our thoughts. I have some evenness to it.
Sure.
So first of all, let me get my not evenness part out first. It's ridiculous.
Oh, right.
It's ridiculous.
There's no such thing as
no
even.
such thing as fit. There's no such thing as even. So it's a pendulum, and any relationship that works out always has a pendulum, and you have to be able to move it back and forth, or the relationship not gonna last.
Yeah.
So okay, so let's throw that part out. But let's move on to some of the other things. Everybody should have a conversation where they agree to whatever the terms of the relationship are going to be up front. So I have no problem with anybody who says, I think the man should do this, and I think the woman should do this.
Yeah.
In any relationship, I got no problem.
Or as a person, just your own personal stance on how relationships should be.
Well, I mean, you can think.
You could say that.
I don't mean. I mean,
is that what
I don't want to be abstract.
What do you mean?
I mean, in a relationship, what you think the person should do and what you think you should do as the male and the female in the relationship. So I have no problem with you sitting down and you feeling a certain way about how these things should be, and you trying to, I don't want to use the word impose, but you trying to uphold that understanding or that standard in your relationship. I got no problem with that as long as everybody agrees.
So you are on board. Yep.
So I think you're setting yourself up for some tough times, but that's fine. What I think the internet is doing is giving both parties, whether it's the male or the female, a false sense of what will actually be in the long term. They say things like, the husband should be the provider and the protector, and that's what he does. So I saw one woman on the internet said her husband lost his job, and she said, I'll carry the bills for 1 month, but after that, that's not what I signed up for, and I moved on, which says to me exactly what you said before, that you signed up for a transactional relationship. So I think it's good that you move on, because it ain't going to work, because you don't love that man. You have legitimately what they argue that they don't have, which is you have a roommate. Those are roommate kind of terms or rules.
Yeah.
Those are not I love you kind of rules.
Right.
Those
and I'm in it with you, and this is our life together.
It's not our life. It is, I have my life and you have your life.
And in order for us to be in this same place together, you're gonna have to carry what we have agreed you're gonna carry.
Correct.
As opposed to, we're taking it as it comes. Because
all it takes. So anything, and I do mean anything, can put a monkey wrench in your plans. Somebody gets sick.
You have a child who has special needs.
You have a child who has special needs.
Or more than one child.
The job that you work at shuts down.
Right.
All of these are life-changing types of events that happen to people every day.
Yes.
And if you go into a relationship thinking this person has to do this and
this is the only way it's going to work for me,
then you're setting yourself up for tough times or multiple divorces.
Yes, resentment. Yeah, right. Or you're going to stick in a relationship that you can't. That is built on unrealistic expectations.
So yeah, I hear the people online and the things that they say, and in my mind, I feel like the old man in the room, because I'm just laughing because
just chuckling to myself
it's
like,
just-
okay, you'll learn.
y'all just kids.
You'll find
That's how and they're probably not, but they
And
make me
typically
feel
the
like
younger,
they're
I mean, some of these people are into their 30s, you know, and into their 40s and still holding these same beliefs that are based on.
and I'm going to say this, into their 30s, into their 40s, and most of the time, single.
Yeah.
Most of the time, single.
Yeah. That's what you hear from mostly. This dream image of what they think marriage is going to be like, or that they'll be able to dictate so much of their relationship.
From these things.
Based on these things, right? And you really,
and I know seeing
it's
it.
like Sheldon Cooper writing up a relationship agreement. And actually, but he wrote up a relationship agreement for him and Amy as well. Sorry, I'm a big fan. Big Bang Theory fan.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory, yeah. So I didn't realize, I knew he wrote up the roommate agreement. I didn't realize he wrote up a relationship agreement too.
And if you watch Young Sheldon, it first started when he wrote up a relationship agreement for Meemaw and one of her boyfriends. I think that's what it was. But yes, he got practice as a kid.
I mean,
but you can't. You just it's a farce to think that you can write up this agreement like a contract, and that you can cover all the bases,
right?
And that you can just hold someone. Like, people are going to grow and change. You know, they're going to see themselves differently.
Right.
They're going to have different goals. All those things.
So I get it. You know, and I know guys who are more traditional guys who prefer their wives to be at home and they go work. And I also know that it didn't always work quite that way. Mm-hmm. You know, they got laid off from a job. The wife had to go pick up some work so that they could make it all work, you know, and they, you know, a lot of times they still together. Most times they still together, but you know, I know relationships where the dad is the primary caretaker of the kids. So, yeah. And and
did he go into that relationship saying, I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad? And you're going to be the one earning all the money. And
well, I could tell you that I came into this relationship wanting to be the stay-at-home dad.
You did. I'm sorry, I couldn't make that work for you.
That was my goal, to be a stay. I would have been a stay-at-home dad. Them kids would have been clean and off to school and washed and teeth brushed and all of that stuff. But you know, so is life.
And the house would have been good.
The house would have been. It wouldn't have been a speck of dirt on any baseboard anywhere in the house.
It's so easy to say these things.
It is.
Yeah. Your imagination.
So, but no, that's not. I didn't want to be a stay-at-home dad, but I wouldn't have minded. But it wasn't ever one of my my real goals. It wasn't a goal. It would have been one of. I mean,
you have too much energy and too much ambition.
I like things to do
that you would have. You would have found a way to get yourself out the house. On a regular basis.
It probably would have been teaching, but that's a
teaching at the college level, right?
Yeah, I'm never going into the public school system. That's crazy. That's crazy. No offense to anybody who teaches
the school system, or is it the age of the kids?
Less than. I don't want nothing to do with it. It's not the kids.
You can't touch it. It's the parents.
It's not the kids.
And we have experience because we have dealt with parents before.
It's the parents.
In our previous life.
You know, when I was a kid, if an adult said something to my parents that I had done or a way that I had behaved, they believed the adult before they believed me. Now, that doesn't mean that the adult was always right.
And it doesn't mean that the adult could say anything.
He can't say anything.
You know,
but
he came in school and kicked me in the shin.
No,
I'm sorry. He did not. I know my child better than to know
But the default was, I'm going to give the adult the benefit of the doubt, especially somebody in an authority position.
Right.
So we
Yeah,
going down.
so we go on down to another thing the internet has ruined. But we just gonna stay here and just say, please take whatever you see on the internet with a grain of salt and really seek out hearing from people who are in long-term relationships and what they are doing to make it work. And you won't hear a lot of that.
No.
Transactional nature of their relationships.
Yeah. It can't be transactional because first you're going to forget the score.
Right. Who's really going to have time to keep the score? And, just as a human nature, you tend to remember the negatives over the positives.
Right.
Like you would really have to be strong about writing things down and, taking a moment to observe the person and when they're doing the things you want them to do, because your mind is just going to make those negatives bigger.
It's a tough way to live.
It really is.
It's a tough way to live. Like, like this morning, we played rock, paper, scissors to see who was going to make Simone's breakfast. And I won.
He did win.
And she got up and Simone said, and she said, Simone, let's go get something to eat. And then
I said, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom.
And then Simone stood there by me looking at me like, I'm still hungry and I still want something to eat. And I didn't know how long she was going to be in the bathroom. So I ended up going up and downstairs and finish.
Instead of just waiting.
When she finished, she didn't come downstairs and relieve me and say, thank you for getting this
When I finished, you were already back upstairs.
It tells you about how long it took. That tells you how long it took. I didn't even know when she was finished. I was already back upstairs. I didn't realize she was just coming out the bathroom.
You're fast.
So
I'm slow.
We got more to take.
So he wasn't speaking to me for a few minutes.
But just whatever.
I'm never playing rock paper.
I'm never playing rock paper scissors with her again.
The thing is, you took it upon yourself to go ahead. She could have waited, 10 minutes. However long. I'm sure it was 10 minutes because it don't take long to make her.
It might have been 8 or 10 minutes.
Yes.
But you know how long that can be with Simone when she's pounding.
It can feel like 30 minutes at least. It can feel like 45. She's on you. You should say, go talk to your mama. Go knock on the door.
Help, please. Help, please.
Knocking on the bathroom door. I'm coming, Monty.
So anyway, we could talk about these things forever. So, but anyway, so let's
keep it short.
Understand that this is our first segment on something the internet has ruined. And
feel free to comment on what we said the internet has ruined, but also give us some suggestions. Is your point. Where do you think the internet has steered people wrong? It's constantly steering people in the wrong direction.
So this 50-50 thing is crazy. So it's a stupid conversation.
It really is a waste of time.
So all right. Now on to the actual topic of this particular episode, which is
things that either of us do that we act like we like it, but we really don't.
This is a super dangerous topic. It's a super dangerous topic.
So first of all, we've decided on some things that we're going to talk about. Are we sticking to those things?
I'm sticking to my things. So because
it's super dangerous because we care so much about each other's feelings that if I were to learn that it was something that you really didn't like to do, then I wouldn't ever want you to do it. And I would be taking you off the hook sometimes. Right. And vice versa.
Right.
So
it's a super dangerous topic.
We're not going to say the things that we know the other person really likes, and we just want to save that. Right. We want to preserve that.
Right. You make accommodations in your marriage for a reason.
If you're lying, keep on lying.
To quote the Average White Band. That's an Average White Band song.
Yeah, I love the Average White Band. And they were on point. If you lie, keep on lying. If I'm believing it and I'm happy, we sit here chilling, then,
That's a lyric from the Average White Band. Yes, it is.
So you want to start?
So I'll start.
Okay.
And so many of our things that I don't like, or the things that happen, are somewhat circumstances of our lives. Meaning, it's because of the variables in our lives. So we have Thanksgiving at our house and Christmas at our house every year. And it's been every year. I want to say it's definitely been every year for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years. Well, this would be the 6th year, I think.
But it was even a few times before that at the old house before we moved here.
And it used to be that at least we would host either, your family sometimes and my family sometimes.
We did a little bit more moving around then.
Oh, well, I mean, they actually came to us
right
on like Christmas Eve. Your family would come to us on Christmas Eve. And then my family would come on Christmas Day. But now it's just...
everybody come here every time. Now everybody comes here. And it's not that I don't have any problem with them coming per se. But, a lot of times it's Yolonda's family.
Yeah,
Yolanda's family
so
is all girls. Now...
all women.
All women. Okay. All women. It's all women. So... Yolanda's father passed away about 10 years ago. So he didn't come. There was another guy who, my stepfather-in-law, he's okay, but I'm the only guy there. And then you say, well, what about I got a nephew and I got my son, but
they're not guys.
They're not guys. And I don't mean that they're not guys in any
kind of negative way. It's just the stuff he's into. They're into anime. Right. They're into other things.
They're these new age guys. Similac guys is what I would call.
See, you said you wasn't gonna be negative.
I'm not negative. It's another Similac feeds you.
But breast milk is best.
They not 70s born bred.
Right, there you go.
They're not
out of your generation. They're not interested in the things that you're interested in, and vice versa. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. So, I mean, there's always, I don't even watch the football games anymore on Thanksgiving because they turn on Shrek or The Lion King on my TV.
Or music. We'll just turn on music and we'll dance. Again. Things that he's not interested in doing. I'm sorry.
And I missed. I still vividly remember going to, this was your house actually, your parents' house, going to your father's house and watching Dwayne Wade play on Christmas Day and dunking, and me and your father high-fiving each other, talking about how good this kid was going to be. I don't have that anymore. So things that I do.
I miss my dad too.
Things that I do that I miss, that I don't like to do, is hosting all of these specific holiday things at our house. I wish that we could at least go out, or we could maybe even spread out.
Open it up to, I don't know, you can find some. You got some guy friends who don't have family who.
No. I had to break out, and that's what I don't do. I would just leave. I could usually, Thanksgiving's always on a Thursday. I could go to the Fridays where they watching the game and they drinking at the bar and doing those things. I'm not even a big drinker, but I know it's a bunch of guys there. So,
yeah.
So that is my thing that I do that I don't particularly want to do, but I do it.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. I feel similarly about things hosting all the time, just because I'm not a hostess. So I put a lot of pressure on people to be like, listen, we are coming up with the menu. Everybody's bringing something. Participate in what's going on.
Informal protest this year and didn't cook nothing.
You didn't cook a thing.
Which is usually I cook something. I
didn't put no pressure on you. I didn't ask you what was going on.
Whatever.
But if you didn't feel like it, you didn't feel like it.
I ain't cooked nothing. I ain't even warm nothing up. I did buy something though. I bought the macaroni and cheese from Oohs and Ahs.
Oh yeah, you did. You did.
I bought the macaroni and cheese.
You did.
But that's it. I sliced up the cranberry sauce.
Out the can, y'all. So do you want to say why you were protesting?
'Cause it's for the same reason that we're having here. I just didn't want to do it.
Oh, okay. All right. What's going to happen this year? See how you
We got
feel.
5 months, 7 months to figure
We
it
might
out.
have to figure out something.
We got 7 or 8 months to figure it out.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just not. It's not fun for us. Like some people, oh, I love opening up my home, and I love, making these, whatever, making everybody feel great and feel good, and.
Yeah. And our family's going to see this and think that we don't like them, and that's just not the case.
It's not the case at all. You can come over anytime. You're always welcome to come over. But so that, hosting Thanksgiving and what you said about, not having somebody to watch the game with, that's nothing that it's not against you, fam.
They don't care.
It's just.
They couldn't care less if they watched the game.
No.
Couldn't care less. Could not
Honestly, I can't. I don't either. It's like you could have a wife that would watch.
You know who cared? Your dad.
He did. Oh, he cared. Please. He cared about potato salad
and the basketball and the football game. Clarence turned on the game. I still can hear him. Going on the game.
Oh yeah.
So,
Daddy.
my guy.
Yes.
Cool.
But I mean, for people who don't know us, who may not understand like where we're coming from, one, we host at our house because Simone doesn't like going into anybody else's house.
Hi.
She has one house that she will go into, your parents' house.
But typically, if they're having Thanksgiving,
a lot of people over, she don't want to be there.
If they have Thanksgiving at their house, I have such big families. It might be 30 or 40 people there.
Yeah, and she's not rocking. She's not rocking with 30 or 40 people. It's like
we're on pins and needles the whole time. So
yeah,
it can be tough.
Lots of kids, and she gonna react to kids and sometimes in negative ways.
We just don't get to do it. So
yeah,
and that's why I say it's kind of the circumstances of our life. Because if that wasn't the case, we would be able to say we're not doing it this year and just go to somebody else's house, and it will be fine.
Right, and then also the hosting side, it's not fun. She doesn't have fun being in the kitchen with us and cooking. Cooking in our kitchen is a battleground. It's like, Moni, get out.
Right.
Moni, stop. But put the clothes in the refrigerator.
Not on Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, she go to her room and she stay in her room.
Once everybody arrives.
Once people
But I'm talking about the
stuff.
Yeah. I'm talking about the actual preparation of the food. It's not food that she's into.
Yeah, she don't want to eat it.
She's just not into cooking at home. Even things that she loves, she prefers it somehow to come out of the bag.
And at the end of the whole thing, after everybody leaves for Thanksgiving, because she didn't want to eat any of the food that was cooked, other than the macaroni and cheese.
And macaroni and cheese.
Those are the only two things she'll eat. So when everybody's finished, she comes out of her room and she wants to leave. She wants to go out.
After we've done all this preparing, cleaning, setting up, breaking down, she's like, oh, okay, everybody's gone.
Everybody's gone now.
Here we go.
It's my turn. Let's go
Let's go to a restaurant. Like, girl.
Let's go get some Chinese food. Let's go, Chinese.
Chinese is what she calls it.
Or Chick-fil-A or McDonald's.
Things that are closed. We're like, Moni, everything is closed. It's Thanksgiving. So then the rest of the night, we're like, everything's closed, Moni. Everything. So it is, it can be, we're not trying to get sympathy or whatever, but just in general to give you some background so we don't sound crazy, because we probably do.
So that's mine.
That's yours.
What's yours?
Mine is talking about myself. Even though we have a podcast,
it's the craziest thing.
I have a good time, being on the podcast with you, and but just it's not even with you. No, it's with everybody. It's because I think I'm weird and everybody doesn't need to know. If I don't talk about myself, I can pretend that I'm not. It's like, I want to be one of those people who is weird and doesn't know they're weird. But unfortunately, I'm very well aware. So I like to keep it to myself. And then we have the bright idea to have a podcast where we talk about ourselves. If you notice, though, if there's any opportunity for me to like kind of interview you, what do you think about this? And ask you questions, I do it a lot. And then I might throw in what I think at the end. So here are all my thoughts in a very short 2-minute spiel at the end. So I just thought that was funny. And then I had to admit that it's a struggle for me. But it's not just here, just in general, in my friendships and everything. I'd much rather talk about what you think and what you have going on than to talk about me.
It's okay. Okay.
Right?
So
no comment.
It's no comment. That's perfect. No comment.
It's okay. You don't have to have a comment.
I mean, my comment is, I understand.
Okay.
I don't understand from a.
You think I'm weird too?
Oh yeah, I've said that. I don't have no problem saying that. I've said that directly to you. But we all can find some joy in some of the things that we do, and I think that you found some joy in this, especially when we go out and we talk to other people and we hear other people and they talk to us about about enjoying what we say,
right?
And
yes.
we realize
it's worth it. It's worth the discomfort a little bit, because we are bringing something to people that they find value in or humor in, or they can relate to, or they could talk about their spouse, with their spouse. So all of those things make it worth it.
So I'm good with it. I understand, and I appreciate you pushing through.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I appreciate you pushing through.
For sure.
But yes, I understand all of it. I understand.
Admit these things on camera.
I understand it all.
Then we make clips out of them. So what you think? Where are we in terms of time?
We got 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes.
Have 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So you want to leave the other things off about the? Okay.
Yeah, we can give those another time.
Yes.
So because we're trying to be concise this year.
Concise, yes.
Not drone on for hours and hours.
It's just because we could talk about it for hours and hours doesn't mean that you want to tune into that.
Right. So let me do a little housekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. When you get a chance, you'll see the little thing going right down here. We appreciate any of your feedback. We respond to all the comments that come in, and if you have any show thoughts or show ideas, topics that you want us to cover, let us know in the comments. That's how we'll find out.
Please ask us anything.
Yeah. We're on our live stream on Sunday nights on twitch.tv/DJ Sharp. Please come through. We get to play some music. We get to talk about different topics. Last week we did a blind rankings of what was it?
Groups, R&B groups
who do ad libs. The ad libs who do the best ad libs.
Yes.
For 90s R&B groups. So
yes.
So that was cool. And then we'll do something this week. Probably I'm thinking this is Spotlight First Sunday. I'm thinking Kim.
Ooh. I like Kim.
I'm thinking Kim. So we can work with that.
We can definitely work with that.
So we'll try to knock that out, get that taken care of. So Yes. Come on, 3.
We will knock that out and we will get it taken care of.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time
Yes.
on Sunday nights. Most Sunday nights. Sometimes we have we can't
Other
make it.
things.
But this Sunday we'll be there. Yes, because you don't have anything. I don't have anything. Yes, we'll be there this Sunday.
Yes.
So we have poured out our soul to you on our couple of topics that we discussed. And we hope that you can understand how we're using these things to define our rhythm, and so that you can use that to define your rhythm.
So that you can live by the rhythm and love by the rhythm.
I said that. I'm going to go with it.
We lost it somehow.
We had it. We had it last year.
Yes, we were just flowing with it. But anyway, peace. Have a great time until we see you again.
We'll be back. All right. Bye, guys.
We hope you've enjoyed another exciting episode of Rhythm of Love, the podcast, hosted by Clarence and Yalonda Lewis.
Theme song by Kendra R.
Book graphics by Rayana Denise.
More information is available at cyllentertainment.com.
Please join us on Sunday nights for our live stream on twitch.tv/DJC Sharp.